Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on and they're crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. Case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
it's gonna come out how it come out. You feel me? Yo, none of this is rehearsed. Everything is off the top.
Vulgar. Welcome to the man cave.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the man cave. Y'all know we crazy in here. That's all I gotta say. But nah, we got a good show for y'all tonight. As I always say, we got a bunch of stuff to cover before we get to the main topic. And yeah, we got a good one for y'all. I am Vulgar.
I'm Gray Mars.
And I'm Enzo.
All right. Man, I never have stuff ready, though. Too much. Y'all on CP time. I'm on CP time. All right, man. Here we go with the first video. BET Awards is on the they on the liberal stuff right now too. Show you what happened. 85, welcome.
Man, I gotta log in from my phone. My damn computer is still rebooting, but it's all good. I'm here.
Got you on them Hewlett Packards, huh?
Yeah, it's tripping, man.
Why you gotta get a Mac, man?
You're right.
Slim got the whole green screen in his studio.
I gotta set mine up. I just
man.
Yeah, man, you got to upgrade from that Windows 98, man. All right, here we go with the first video.
shout out after she did not win Sportswoman of the Year. She tweeted, I still don't know how I didn't win Sportswoman of the Year for the BET Awards, but congrats to Angel Reese and all of the other nominees. I just thought accolades mattered. Then she tweeted again, let me go on ahead and make up for missing 2 days of grinding at the gym to attend all this BET stuff. I defend my undisputed heavyweight title on July 26th. If and when I win that fight, I'll be the 19-time world champ. Then she had to come back because people started responding and basically saying to her, like, you know, why are you downplaying Angel Reese's win just because you didn't? And she says, nobody's saying that Angel Reese doesn't have accolades or that she's not good. I'm just saying that I thought the person with the most, she capitalized most accolades and accomplishments to win the award. I'm team Angel Reese. I'm not joining the hate train when it comes to Angel Reese. I have mad respect for her. And all the other female athletes that excel in the sport. As for my earlier comments, I am allowed to express my feelings. I was just shocked I didn't win.
All right. Who won at it and giving out participation trophies?
I didn't know she was the champ, but I just heard about that girl that got the best, the most money in tennis. I feel like she should have won. You know what I'm talking about? She just, I don't know her name, but she just got the most money during tennis. But
yeah, I heard of
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, to me, are the most talked about female athletes. So I don't see how she feels like she should have won.
I know exactly why, but I'm gonna let y'all give y'all opinions.
I just
Enzo?
think it's go ahead, Enzo. My bad.
I mean, all I was gonna really say is, like, I don't even follow the WNBA, and I know who Angela Reese is. That's like, so just right there, everyone talking about her. Obviously, she's doing something right for her to win. So, like, I don't know much about this. So, that's all I gotta say, really.
Salim?
I'm gonna just say it's just giving them something else to cry about. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just another topic to talk about how we cry babies. But that's all I really got. That's my take. Caitlin Clark is the bomb. She nice with it. And unfortunately, she didn't win either, right? So it is what it is.
Yeah. I think it's, me personally, I think it's a money grab. Way to stay relevant, create chaos and division. It's kind of the thing to do now. Caitlin Clark is getting all this energy, so BET is like, you know what, we're gonna ignore all the people like Clarissa Shields, who's been killing it, and I can't think of the tennis player, and we're gonna get in, you know, on pop culture and the media and go ahead and back up Angel Reese. That's all I feel like that is. It wasn't a real award. To me, it takes away from the credibility of the award. A lot of these awards now are doing that to me. Who was it? Was it Beyonce? They got Country Album of the Year or something like that?
Yeah, and it wasn't even country.
Yeah, it's trash.
That I didn't understand.
Like, I can't take any of the awards serious.
I take AB's awards more seriously nowadays. His awards are funny as that. AB, Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
That shit funny as hell. He gave, what was it, Trump Cracker of the Year award? Dude, I love him. Every time I go on Twitter, it's something new.
I gotta follow him. I haven't seen his stuff.
Bro, it's hilarious. The new one that I saw was him and Gavin Newsom's wife. He said, I effed your wife.
What? I think I did hear that.
Bro.
It was a big thing over it for a while.
He's hilarious.
He had that with a couple people, right? Didn't he say something towards Tom Brady? Like
Yeah.
Giselle or something like that?
I believe that was real, though. Him and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling that was real.
Yeah, she was an opportunist. I think she's been an opportunist.
Tom chilling now. That's the Brody.
Don't you got him a little young piece now?
Oh, he can get whatever he want. I'm sure he do. Tom is the man.
Yeah, you went back. Belichick got back together. Let's go get some 24-year-olds. Or how old's the one Belichick with? 26?
Oh, yeah. I thought she was younger than that.
She like 24, 26, something like that. But he lacing her up. And they mad.
They gonna stay mad.
All right, let me see. And speaking of trash awards, we got somebody else joining us.
This is Enzo's mod. Alexis, are you having an issue with your camera? I don't know. Enzo, I think she might be having like an issue with her camera or something.
Yeah, so she said that she didn't have sound before when she first joined, so she was trying to join back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vogel. I think she's working on it.
All right, so for another trash award, we have
Trash awards.
Trash Man of the Year award.
How dare us? Giving Glorilla a gospel award is putting piss in all of our grandparents' face. What do you mean, Dr. O? The gospel community tried to out LaAndrea Johnson for just drinking. But y'all are going to give a gospel music award, the Bobby Jones Award, to Glorilla, when the only thing close to gospel is her name, Gloria Hallelujah. I cannot believe y'all will continue to disrespect the black community the way the world does. And then the black community, we sit back and applaud, oh, that's good, and oh, that black woman empowerment. That ain't about nothing what they did. What they did is put us on a national stage of continued buffoonery. We look like some damn fools. That's how come we don't have any culture. The world don't take us serious because we don't take ourselves serious. You'll never see other cultures. Well, Dr. O, you comparing us to the white folks? You goddamn right I am. You'll never see other cultures and other communities, the Asians, the Japanese, the Jewish, flaunting around the horrors of their communities. These young ladies out here are running wild because they don't have any elders in their ear telling them what's right and wrong. It used to be a time back in the day we would separate, it was called secular music from this type of mainstream, secular music and gospel music. That's what they call. That's what my grandmother raised me on. My grandmother raised me on Bible study, church, Sunday school, cleaning the church house on Saturdays. Our grandparents, y'all, would be turning over in their grave. And if they still here, I know they don't understand what we got going on right now. That is disrespectful. And then we wonder how come we have young ladies keep popping out thinking it's cool to shake their behind, go get BBLs and over-sexualize themselves and dress damn near naked on a stage because we continue to put people up in their face like they're some kind of idols and people that we need to be worshiping. Glorilla. And nothing is wrong with the young lady. I like her music, but not in the gospel arena, y'all. Not in the gospel arena. What's wrong with us? What is wrong with us?
Yeah, she went on for a minute. All facts.
Until that last part. She had me until that last part.
Well, when she said she listened to her music. Yeah, me too. I was like, yeah, I can't get with that.
Yeah, I'm like, how you gonna go all in and then come back with that? Like, she was all facts until like, I'm stuck now. I don't even, my take ain't even gonna matter.
Y'all don't even be in church like that and I don't listen to that music.
Right. Like she tried to front like it was against Christianity. It was like, I like her music. Like,
so all I'm gonna say is about her is she make music for the girls that wear Cookie Monster pants and eat hot Cheetos walking around the track in high school. Fuck you mean she got the gospel year of the award? Like what? So is twerking part of the gospel now? Is that what they doing in church? It's been a while for me.
Oh yeah,
like
it's accepted now. You could twerk anywhere.
That's what they doing.
Yep.
I told y'all before, everything regarding satanic is glorified. Anything regarding Christianity is debunked or put to the back burner. It's part of it right now.
Bro, I'm glad you said that because that goes into later for the main event. You said exactly what's going on with all this shit is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Them giving out crazy awards to politics, anything that's authority or the do right, do the opposite. That's what all this shit is now.
I never thought I would agree with Beans. Shout out Beans on this. I'm ready. I'm ready for the Rock to hit us. Just wipe us out at this point if that's what's going on.
I say that every day. Send the asteroid,
bro. Send it. I'm done. I've seen enough.
I wonder if you could buy one on Amazon or something. Send the asteroid.
Elon, find one.
You the most red pill, but you know all the hood topics. So I didn't know about any of this.
Man, I'm from the hood.
But I feel like with this lady, it's kind of like I feel like she older, so she's mad now. Glorilla, the music she made definitely should be in the gospel section. So, I mean, I didn't even know she had a gospel song, and then y'all said the same thing with Beyonce, like the country song. I feel like basically like it's just music, just about streams now. People buying streams. It's all fake now. It's not like how it was before, where like everybody watched the award show and then you go to school and everybody talk about it. It's all on the internet and social media now. Like I didn't even watch the BET Awards, but growing up, you know, there was a big thing like to watch the BET Awards, the MTV Awards. Like that was a big thing.
Yeah. No, and that's the point I'm trying to. You said it. That's the point I'm trying to make. They did that with the Angel Reese thing. They did that just so people would talk about it on social media. That's all it's about now. Is clout and staying relevant. They knew if they really picked the real person, nobody would talk about it. It would just fall by. It'd be behind the riots and everything. But if you pick Angel Reese, which has been trash all season, people gonna talk about it. That's why I'm like, there's no credibility anymore. Everybody is sold out to clicks and views.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy now. Like, yeah.
And as far as Glorilla, I think when I looked it up, because I don't listen to her music at all. I don't listen to Lotto, none of these. I only know about Lotto because something she lost weight or whatever it was and lost her ass or something like that. Something they were claiming. And I heard of her. But other than that, I don't listen to none of the music. But they said that she featured on a gospel artist. I don't think she necessarily had a song. It was just from like a feature that she got an award.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But who's the hot gospel artist out right now? Like, is there even a hot person that's out?
Not that I know of.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin's plastic surgery ass, maybe.
And you already know how he get down. They love him.
I was like, this dude having procedures done? Come on now. Or at least it looked like it in whatever. He toured here and his picture just looked hella feminine. Let's see what we got next. Oh yeah, what they I'm gonna do this one. I don't know much about this, Enzo. I'm sure you can fill us all in on why this is significant.
Okay. I'm scared to see what this is.
Component of President Trump's historic border and immigration crackdown has launched. As of 12:01 a.m., President Trump's latest travel ban is now officially in effect. That means nationals of 12 countries, including Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen, among others, are banned from entering the U.S. Nationals of 7 other countries will also face significant visa restrictions. NBC's George Solis joins us now live from Miami International Airport. George, what are you hearing from travelers about this ban and how it's affecting them?
Yeah, no, for a lot of travelers, this is 2.0. They saw this the last go around, but many of them still have a lot of the same questions. They're wondering, will there be legal challenges? How will this impact loved ones back home? Keep in mind, right now, you may not see it, but there's obviously a lot of people still going through customs as they arrive here at Miami International. Some of them going through other countries to arrive here. But at the moment, even just as I arrived here, things appear to be somewhat business as usual. Even as people are departing, you do see a little bit more, you could say, activity from Customs Border Protection, but there's no indication that they're doing any type of extra screening or anything that would indicate anything out of the norm on a regular travel day. However, we have been talking to passengers leading up to this going into effect. And of course, many of them worried about what this means for their visas, because ultimately it is up to the discretion of DHS who they allow into these ports of entries. And again, at this point, a lot more questions than answers for a lot of these travelers.
You want to tackle that one, Enzo?
So what Trump is doing is pretty much carrying off of his, I think it was 2017 when he put into effect the Muslim ban.
Yeah.
That he put into effect that was highly scrutinized. I mean, his verbiage on calling it the Muslim ban, I disagree with how he said that, but I understand the premise of it. Like looking at that time, there was a lot of terrorist attacks going around all around the world, and it was all stemming from certain countries. Some of them are the ones that he outlined in that travel restriction. I agree with it, and to certain extents. That there, I don't think there should be an outright travel ban for people coming from these countries, but there should be extreme vetting from people from those countries coming in because of what's going on in the United States. And over the last 4 years, let's look at the open border crisis. They caught, I'm pretty sure it was a couple hundred people that were in terrorist organizations that were on Interpol red notices that just walked across our border, and they were here for a little bit, and then finally the Biden administration got them. If we had something in place like this, or just not an open border, they would have caught those people and you wouldn't have allowed them to come into the United States. So I mean, it's a matter of national security, and we need to really focus on that. And so another incident like 9/11 doesn't happen in America again.
Yeah. Love that cup, Slim.
Oh, thanks, boss.
Gray.
I think it's just typical performative stuff from Trump. Like, Trump is B.T. Barnum. He's a great marketer. He's going to put on a show. So, like, one thing that what was extraordinary to me today, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Trump did a speech at Fort Bragg. He said he was going to rename the bases that from Confederate names back to Confederate names. But he actually had the military people hand out pamphlets to soldiers saying, like, hey, if you don't like this administration, if you're not going to be cheering, don't come to this. Like, just don't come. And, like, they went there and, like, they had the most people that like Trump, like, behind them, like, cheering on. So Trump knows how to make things look good.
Yeah. Slim?
Yeah, this is a little crazy because I'm actually traveling to Africa tomorrow. And yeah, man. So, the visa thing was in effect. Certain places in Africa, you don't need a visa, but Nigeria, for some reason, you need the visa. With this going on, I have to look it up to see how it's going to affect anything that I got going on. But, at the end of the day, I'm all for what my president is doing. So I just want to see how is it going to affect me. If it does, should I be writing a letter? Y'all gonna know about it. I ain't gonna be mad though. It is what it is. Bad timing.
Also, Slim, are you work? Because I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. So my girl is complaining like, oh, the protests and all this stuff, and it's in Tampa. So like, what are you worried about? Like, with going to Africa, what are you worried about?
I'm more worried about entry into the country based on what's going on. Other than that, nothing. I wouldn't want to go to Chicago.
I'm going to New York on Saturday for the protest.
Yeah,
I'm scared shitless.
They cutting up in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
They got some little baby protests here in KC, but yeah, I heard they really cutting up down there. I might go down. You know what? I might take my camera and go down there tomorrow. But you can't play with
That's
KC.
what I'm doing.
They don't talk out here. That Slim will tell you.
Yeah, they got a protest in Tampa, Greg?
Yeah, literally like 30, 40 minutes away from me. Yeah, at the Tampa City Hall.
What time?
No, they did it yesterday. I thought you were on the show last night. Yeah, so like, it's a big. I mean, you live in Florida. It's a big Hispanic population out here.
Well, you ain't see nothing burning down though, huh?
Nah, they didn't burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was at the Wu-Tang concert last night.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, I thought Slim's story was at a Wu-Tang concert.
Nah. Wu-Tang showed up and everything. It was good.
You got multiple protests going on in Tampa on Saturday, though.
Yeah, that shit ain't no matter, man.
I hope it don't affect my flight. That's all I know.
Yeah, from 3 to 6 p.m. at Tampa City Hall.
Oh my God.
They got a whole website where all the protests are going to happen.
Wow.
And it's funded by the Democrats. Sorry, Greg.
Of course it is.
You know, dead ass, like you look at partners, like Big
Did you
names on
say
there.
did you say funded or fueled?
Funded.
Both.
Partners.
Definitely fueled by the Democrats.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, for it to be on websites, they putting some money up. Trust me.
Yo, I was TikTok came across my feed earlier when I was looking for videos and was talking about how this is the same play that the Democrats did in was the summer of 2020. Like all the protests and stuff.
To our BLM?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how they move. This is all they got. They did the same thing with your boy in Florida with the hoodie and the Zimmerman
Oh,
shit.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They did and the other big dude in New York, he started the I Can't Breathe. Gardner.
Michael Brown.
Michael Brown in St. Louis. That's what they do. It's the playbook. Over and over again.
Yep.
And we get emotional. Oh, slavery.
Yeah, if we try to do something in January, yeah.
Did y'all hear about Walmart?
Nah.
Okay, so the daughter of Sam Walton, she brought out a piece of paper saying like this is wrong what Trump is doing with the protests. And then supposedly, if this is all conspiracy, so allegedly, like they were dropping off masks like down there to the people. I guess like internet sleuths like zoomed into the boxes, and then they were like, "Oh, Walmart provided these." So they're also trying to say Walmart is a part of funding this. So MAGA's trying to boycott Walmart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I boycotted them long ago.
I'm sure most of MAGA shop at Walmart.
I like Target better.
Man, Target's trash, man.
You got a better selection than Walmart, though.
And that's not even on no like black, white, whatever, because I don't get into all that. Target is like feminine to me for some reason. I think it's geared towards the women.
Maybe it's just around here, but the Walmarts around here just suck.
Oh yeah,
they're just terrible. You can't find anything.
Yeah.
Nah, the ones here you can find what you need.
In Florida, I'll bet they were pretty good.
From the tires, the chicken drumsticks.
Oh my god, those are the fucking shit. Forgot about that.
And they got cheap ass whole birds. Get you a whole bird for $7.
That man said cheap ass whole bird. That's hard.
Yeah. Walmart make poverty good. All right. So I'll play this one. Let me know if y'all think the left is doing all these riots to hide stuff like this.
Inflation report was just released today and it beat expectations. Inflation is still dropping and we're closer to that 2% goal that the Fed have. Month over month, the May CPI inflation rose 0.1%, beating expectations of a 0.2% increase. And year over year, inflation rose 2.4%, also below expectations of 2.5%. With inflation on a steady decline, everybody and their mother is begging the Fed to cut interest rates, and that includes Donald Trump, who took to Truth Social to voice his opinion. Right after the CPI inflation report was released, Donald Trump said that it was great numbers and that the Fed should lower interest rates by 1 full point. Do you agree with Donald Trump? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.
What's your thoughts, Gray?
I'll say that my stocks did go up, and I invested in what's it called, Planter, the one that I just mad about tracking people.
Yeah.
I invested in that one, and it's doing quite well. But I think Trump should just let the Fed do what the Fed is going to do. We were worried about a recession, like, everybody was worried about recession. So, like, we should be happy if inflation is dropping, if the economy is getting better. Because Trump just announced today, again, he's going to put tariffs on China. So, like, any good economic news, I think we should just say, let the Fed do their job and let's just stay out of it.
Slim or Enzo?
That's the thing I be saying about Trump the whole time. Let him do his job, and the people just stay out of it. Because right now, they're never going to acknowledge anything that he does positive. Let's just keep it G, right? Doesn't matter. They're always going to create distractions for you to look over here. Don't worry about what's going on over there. But the reality is, what we voted for is actually in play. You can't sit, even if you didn't vote for him, if you knew what the people voted for, you can't sit back and say he's not doing his job. That's the thing that kills me. Nobody's gonna shake his hand and says, "Yo, good looking, bro." Nobody's gonna do that to Trump. He just got to keep doing it the way he's doing it. So that's why it looks so weird, because the left is always going to be mad at everything positive that he does. They don't care that the inflation is going down. That's not their concern. Their concern is the illegal aliens.
Yep. Media fuel. Enzo?
Yeah, I could play off of what 85 was saying. I think this is just the immigration is just a distraction because they're pissed at the feds actually, or no, I'm sorry, that the CPI report is actually going down. When Trump came into office, you had all these economists saying that inflation was going to rise, people are going to lose jobs, and everything that went on. And the first jobs report they added, I think it was like 100,000 jobs, the first job report, and that was like a month in, and inflation went down. So I just think this is hilarious to me that they have nothing else to complain about. So we're gonna latch on to what's happening and with the fucking illegal migrants. We're not talking about legal ones, illegal migrants. That's what we're gonna latch on to. And that's gonna be our focus all summer. Burn down all the cities.
Yeah. As a numbers person, I'll explain it. So, I'm Trump all day, but I do understand why the Fed is doing what they're doing. And Gray, you finance person, so you can back me up on this. It's kind of like a plane. If you fly in a plane, a lot of times when a plane goes in the land, a lot of times the plane, this is really in the military too, like fighter jets, if they have to land on like a carrier. When they're getting close to the ground, they about to land, they will literally rev the engines up just in case they missed the landing pad. And you could see this in a commercial plane too. If you fly, a lot of times you'll hear the engines rev up, and it's just in case they gotta like take back off and they won't hit the ground. I kind of feel like that's what the Fed is doing. Like, even though inflation is going down, the Fed don't want to lower the rates because they feel like they might miss the landing and the plane crash. So they're trying to keep them up just in case the tariffs, because they say a lot of the tariffs and stuff have a delayed reaction on price hikes. So they're expecting that the tariffs and everything else Trump is doing is supposed to hit us in the late summer. I have faith in my president, but this is just, if I'm going to take my feelings out of it and bias out of it, this is my interpretation of why the Fed isn't lowering the rates, because they don't want miss that chance to take off and not crash. Would you say that's accurate, Gray?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, because they basically control the rates based on the market. So everything Trump is doing is affecting the market. So they got to be careful. And so, like, I think Trump is the first president to really go at the Fed. I know Trump does a lot of wild stuff, but like with this, it's like you really deal with interest rates. You got to be careful.
Yeah. So, yep. So what, Gray, what do you think the consequence would be if prices do go up and the rates are still up?
Well, they try to keep, so like it's basically supply and demand. So like if the money goes up, then they try to bring it down to like basically keep money flowing in the economy.
Yeah.
So the issue would be a recession, or they say the worst would be inflation plus a recession at the same time. I think they call it stagflation or something like that. So that will put us like in the worst possible position economically. Is that going to happen? I don't know. But what Trump wants is low fuel, low prices, so that he doesn't get, if something does happen with the market, he doesn't get the blame.
Enzo or Slim, got a rebuttal?
Nah, I'm good. I said my take.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all been keeping up on the riots. Who haven't? There's been a push from, I guess we could say, is Mexico, right? Mexicans, they flying a Mexican flag everywhere. I don't see it. Puerto Rico, nobody jumping in this.
California is damn near Mexico.
But it almost sounds like what we go through in the black community when our black women say we don't protect them. And then when stuff happens, they be like, well, we march with y'all and George Floyd and this, and y'all don't protect us. Well, we didn't ask for that. But the same thing is coming from the protesters. They're wanting the black community to jump in on their side. And I'll tell you now, I don't agree. I think we need to stay our asses at home. So here's a black man going in on some Mexicans.
If somebody's a black person, guess what I know a black person, somebody who comes from Colombia, Cuba, or Caribbean. They are not black. They're Haitian. They're fucking Haitians. They're not fucking black. They're fucking Haitians. No, we ain't even doing history shit. We're talking about today. We're talking about every time a black person gets pulled over. Every fucking Mexican ain't targeted. All these fucking Mexicans never gone through the shit that black folks went through. And they got the fucking nerve. And hold on. And they got the nerve to talk about they built this country. Those bitches wasn't here in the beginning. So I don't want to hear shit about. No, it's not about us against them. But when you fuckers, even your ass, comes out and makes this an issue, that's what we gotta look at. This is what we gotta look at it as this. You see this white person? You see your ass? This is what black folks got.
Man, he need that much logic for his body. Well, had his whole stomach hanging out the bottom. Almost thought his shirt was missing.
A crop top for him.
So that's basically what Kamal was going off about last night. I don't know if you remember the fact he put. He said some Mexican guy back in the 1900s or something. But I've seen it on TikTok where they're saying black people should go out there and march with the Mexicans and stuff like that. I feel like reality with the protest is white, is black, is Asian. I feel like it's everybody out there, even with the BLM protests. There's a lot of white people out there. So, I mean, it's like, I think it's a mixture if we look at it reality, but so I think if you want to be involved in it, you be involved in it. If you philosophically think that, I don't think it should be based on race.
Not at all.
Slim?
Man, I don't get it because it's like, has there ever been a successful protest in history?
Yeah, I think it's been some successful protests. Look at Gandhi in India. He built a nonviolent protest.
Okay. Was it going down like this?
Yeah, he did a hunger strike. He went to places. That's what Martin Luther King learned from.
But wait a minute. You said it was a non-violent protest.
Yeah.
All right. Was they burning down buildings and shit?
No.
Okay. Those are protests like from the Rodney Kings to, the black and whites. Like, which protest was successful?
Montgomery bus protest from Zach.
How long ago?
That was like 60. It was right around like Rosa Parks and everything like that.
Okay, so
like
basically, are we due for a successful protest if we were to go out there and protest with, during the situation? Will it be successful, or will it be a race war? Because that guy was an idiot. I understand his logic, but the way he was going at it can start a race war. Just saying.
With Mexicans and blacks?
Yeah. You heard what he was saying. If you play that back, that could be very offensive. He could have got his ass whipped.
To me, it's already a race war.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
They fueling that shit, bro. Like I always say, the only way to stop racism is to stop talking about it. You're an American man. You're an American woman. Why it has to be a color or an ethic behind it? Doesn't matter, yo. If you born in this country and you got a social security number, you're a citizen. If you don't, you're not. How is that hard to understand?
Well, they give them TIN numbers.
That ain't a social.
TIN numbers, and you have to apply for them.
What, the TIN?
The ITINs, yeah, and you have to apply for them.
Yep.
You're
So
not
let's
a citizen.
welcome that little bit Alexis.
Sorry for the
Alexis.
technical
Welcome.
difficulties.
All right.
I have a
Glad you
very
can make
old
it.
phone. Yeah, thanks. Took me a while, but apologies.
Would you like to tell us anything about you, and then give your take on this situation?
Sure. I'm 30. I'm from California, born and raised here. I am right-leaning. I did vote for Donald Trump, and yeah, that's pretty much all I got. But then you're asking about my take on the ongoing situation in like LA, Santa Ana. That's kind of like
Well,
popping up everywhere, or
the focus is, should the Black community join this situation, or should we stay out of it?
So personally, as a Latina, I don't really see. I'm confused as to why. I understand movements do bring all different kinds of people together, and things of that nature. But at the same time, I don't see why the Black community would want to subject themselves to, and also to not just subject themselves to the fact that they could be hurt or harmed, especially because of the simple fact that people are getting out of control and violent. But going beyond that, what they're fighting for is not necessarily, I mean, unless the Black community seriously believes in undocumented migrants being able to come here freely and take advantage of certain programs that are meant for tax-paying citizens, then by all means get involved. But if they don't really support that, then I don't recommend that they get involved. It's just a personal preference.
Cool. Enzo?
So, I mean, the way that I'm looking at it is looking at it from like a historical standpoint. The Hispanic people are trying to say like that they're oppressed, and also that Black people, African Americans, were oppressed. But then again, yes, African Americans were oppressed, but they were brought here forcefully. The Hispanics are coming here illegally by their own recognizance. Like, it's completely two different situations. I think race should not play a part into it and say, oh, well, you guys are oppressed and we're being oppressed now, so you need to stand up with us like we did with you. That's their choice. It's everyone's choice at the end. If they want to do so, like Alexis said, if they want to stand up for illegal migration, then by all means do so. But for an entire race and everybody in America to stand up for it, just to stand up for it, I think it's just stupid.
Yeah, I'm not one to, I don't really go into slavery, race, thing like that. But that do fit this narrative for me. I'm like, yo, it's not the same. Like you said, we were like chucking spears, like poison darts at animals, and we were just minding our damn business. And some super light skinned people came over and was like, "You got some prisoners?" Threw us in there. We was over here working. So to me, it's different. But also, too, the reason why I think this whole thing is a victimhood thing, because you got legal Mexicans who don't even agree with this. There's a lot of them, you just don't hear their voice, and I think that's a big problem. A lot of the people who are legal, it's probably time for them to step up and say, "Hey, y'all need to take y'all ass home. He giving y'all $1,000, get y'all check and get the hell up out of here." Because to me, it's like everything is a competition. I know some people want to be all inclusive. Oh, everybody should have a chance. That ain't how this shit work. Y'all want to know why y'all rent is $5,015 a month? Is because we got more people here than infrastructure. That's what's going on. So if you get some of these illegals, there was millions of them. How many
11 million.
Sleepy Joe let in?
11 million.
So that's like
Allegedly.
11 million apartments and houses that could be empty that could drive down the cost if you think about supply and demand. So people are emotional. They're not thinking about this. They're willing to keep paying high prices for everything and they still support illegals. That's what I'm not trying to understand. And media needs to be held accountable because they're the ones leading the sheep. Anybody who's out here saying keep the illegals here are just sheep, and they're listening to legacy media. And they cutting off their own foot to protect people who's taking food out their mouth. Gray?
Here's the thing. We need people. So for me, I want taxes to go to Social Security. So these immigrants, a lot of them have came here, got an education, got training, and they're paying taxes. So I understand getting rid of these people, but it costs a lot to get rid of them. And then, like, are we going to like bring other immigrants in? Are we going to have children? Like, because the population is getting older, so you don't want a very old population without a young population. So we have to figure out the numbers game with that, and that's the issue that America's having. So yeah, we can get rid of them, but who are we going to replace them with?
I talk about that all the time on my lives when people bring that up. And I tell them exactly this. I was like, okay, well, if we get rid of all these migrants that are picking our produce and doing all these jobs that Americans won't, and you want them to stay, that's the same exact argument that the Confederacy gave to the Union, saying, well, who's going to pick our cotton? That's the way that I look at it. I personally don't care myself if eggs go to $15 a dozen, because at least they're paying somebody a livable wage. Like in the industry that I'm in, I've said it 1,001 times on my life, our company was not getting contracts because other companies that will hire illegals that they have to pay them. Coming out of union school, they have to pay you, I think it's $30 an hour to do electrical work. They're paying these guys $10 to $15 an hour and giving them room and board, and it's disgusting living habits. That's why they get away with paying them so low. Like, you can't live off $10 an hour in New Jersey. Minimum wage is 15 in New Jersey. You still can't live off that. Like, for these people to getting paid that low, it's just inhumane in my eyes. And I don't agree with it on the standpoint that everybody that's working these jobs needs livable wages, and I don't care if that inflates the cost to pay somebody a livable wage to do so. They want to do it legally, do it legally.
Yeah. The other thing I don't like too. Go ahead.
I was going to say the Social Security aspect, what you're speaking on, the only ones contributing to that are the ones with ITIN numbers, because Social Security is a federally funded thing. So usually what happens is that most of the time they contribute to the local economy, the state economy, right? They pay sales tax, they property tax if they have a property, things of that nature. The Social Security and things like that people constantly try to bring up and say, like, oh, they can't take advantage of it, they're paying all this money into the system, blah blah blah. They actually aren't contributing as much as you might think, because of the simple fact that they are not American, technically tax-paying federal citizens. So that is the big difference, unless they have ITIN numbers, which if you look up how many ITIN numbers have been issued over the last 4 years, as opposed to how many illegal migrants have allegedly come over, it's non-comparable. Like it's a fraction of the amount.
So, like, I understand what you guys are saying, but do you guys think about the cost of getting rid of these people? Because we can't just send them to one place. You have to send them back to where they're from.
I mean, that's just like asking about the cost of surgery. If you gotta get the surgery done, you either gonna have insurance, you have to sell your house or something, but it's a problem, and to me it's on the level of surgery.
And it's
so
a one
nothing's
time.
free. Yeah, nothing's free.
It's a one-time cost as opposed to reoccurring.
Yep. And a lot of the stuff you were saying earlier, as far as like who's gonna do these jobs and stuff like that, to me that's the problem. Or how we gonna replenish the population when you got the left who's pushing for independent, the feminism, women empowerment. You got the left that's pushing women away from having babies, extended adolescence, getting degrees, forget the man. A lot of them are carpet munching, and they don't even want to get with a man to have kids. Like, to me, that's a bigger issue than the migration. If we get the migrants out and then encourage people to the 2-parent households, we would cure a lot of that.
I don't feel like you can force people to be in a relationship or have children.
Well, I'm saying it might not be this generation, but over the generations, like, this is going to keep getting worse if we don't push for people to come together.
Because
we
of
push
the migrants?
individualism. Say it again.
I said because of the migrants. I'm just trying to figure out the.
No, we're saying like, who's going to work these jobs? How are we going? We got a population issue, things like that. So we should keep these illegals here because we got a population issue instead of fixing what's really wrong. And that is getting people together to start families. Like right now, the average person, they want their career over here having kids. You even talk to Gen Zs now, they don't even want kids.
Most of the I don't know how this goes. I don't know how much back and forth we're supposed to do, so I don't want to like get too.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I agree with you to an extent. I think that the idea, because I think that the nuclear family has been attacked, and I think ultimately that's what's best for raising a child is the nuclear family. I think that there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. I think that it's ridiculous that women or feminists think that they can shame other women for their choices, right? That's the whole point, is that we fought for our right to choose. But that being said, I mean, I don't think that I don't know. There were a couple statements that you made that I slightly disagree with. Like I don't think that they can choose your sexuality, whether you are gay, or if you choose to be, or if you want to be a lesbian, or even experimentation, because I know that you can't choose it, but I just don't think that was an accurate like correlation there. But I am understanding what you're saying in the sense to where I do believe that the sense of like a nuclear family and like traditional values have been basically almost demonized in a sense by by media and entertainment, etc.
To me that leans into that contributes to, as far as the alphabet community also, those, like, you got a lot of kids who are being groomed, seeing stuff early, corn, all that, a lot of that leads to that type of.
But corn, did we say corn? God, we spend way too much time on TikTok. But I mean, also too, if you think about it, so I mean, I understand, like, I get the indoctrination aspect when it comes to the trans community. I don't believe in sexualizing anything that has to do with kids. So LGB is what it originally was, right? And then they added the T and everything else. Lesbian, gay, bisexual. There's no reason why that needs to be taught in schools. Those are sexual preferences and orientations. They are not necessarily like, now it's turned into two-spirited, this and that, and it's gotten way overly complex. But porn exists regardless of sexuality. There's homosexual porn, there's heterosexual porn, there's all kinds of different wild stuff out there. The access to it is the issue. It's not the content, it's the issue. You need to be an adult to consume that kind of media. And if you're not, then you should not be able to access it. We need to have better regulations on it, but not an outright ban on it. That's crazy.
And I'm not saying, because to me, I'm more of the parents should be handling that. That's why I'm saying the nuclear family and people who got good situations, they can focus on the kids more than throwing them off to the system, public schools, whatever. And I'm saying all this to wrap it up. I'm saying all this to say that illegals, kicking them out is not going to cause all these issues that they're saying. It's like Enzo said, as far as they were saying the same things when it came to freeing the slaves. The thing is right and wrong is wrong. This land wasn't stolen, it was conquered. That's another weak argument that I'm to me, I feel like beta types, just weak men and weak people, victims, say this kind of stuff. Nature is competitive. Even if you have a house, you have to guard your house. If somebody just illegally comes in your house and they stay there for 5 years, they can take over your house. So you have to fight to keep your house. That's your land. You have to fight to keep your land. And if somebody comes in and take it, you got to give it up. America came in and was like, I want that. They took it. Now we have it. We're defending it. And I'm all for it. So the land wasn't stolen. It was conquered. Mexico couldn't hold. Y'all throwing up this weak flag, just like they throw up the Confederate flag in the South. They both were weak loser flags. Y'all throwing them up. Mexico, y'all lost. Understand that. And be cool that California is still embracing Mexican culture. It's called Los Angeles. So just that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, it really is Mexico. It's just under a different rule. Like, put that damn flag down, put up your American flag, and stop all this shit. But guess what? This is what the left want. Anything that is wrong, the left supports it. That's why we can't get stuff together. Stop blaming Trump. What's the dude name? The governor of California? Stop blaming Trump. Yeah, Newsom, whatever. It's not Trump's fault. It's the left's fault for not getting behind what's right. It's just like two parents. You got a kid, and the kid wants a lollipop, and goes to dad, and dad say no. And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna since my parents don't get along, I'm gonna go to the mother. She's gonna say, yeah, she's gonna go cuss out the dad, and he's weak, and he's gonna allow it. That's what's going on right now between the left and the right. We can't stick together on shit. So you got people like illegals, you got people like single mothers, you got all these other people who all the Kamala voters, all them. That's what they're doing. They don't want to listen to authority. That's all this is about. If the left and the right told the media to shut up and they backed what Trump is doing, there would be no riots right now.
That was a lot. But Trump is basically doing things in an unconstitutional way. That's why these people are upset. If Trump was just doing things like the normal person, nothing will be happening.
We don't know that though. He enacted a National Guard off a federal law. So the courts are going to figure that out, but we don't know that. But what we do know is that these illegals came here unconstitutionally. That's what we do know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, what were we supposed to do? I mean, as someone who has had family members who have been in, like, police force, it's just like that's their job, and I understand that that's their job, and they agree to put their life on the line. But one thing that I can't co-sign on is the fact that they go home, especially during these riots. I look at the guys all lined up there, all just trying to hold their ground, and it's just like I can only imagine how their wives feel, how their daughters feel, how their sons feel, saying that, knowing that that's their dad or uncle or whoever, and they see them and they see people just wailing things at them, rocks, scooters, whatever. And it's like, and the thing is what are you going to solve? When has fighting fire with fire ever turned anything good? Except for, I mean, all it does is turn everything into ash. And it's not going to be helpful. It's not going to be beneficial. And honestly, no one listens to you. It's like when you stoop to a personal insult during a debate, you've lost all your ground.
Mm-hmm. And you said something great. You said something great because the left loves to say MAGA and Republicans are inhumane. And you got these protesters who are in the wrong, burning up cars, throwing boulders. They were throwing those scooters. They throwing scooters over the bridge.
Yes, on the freeway.
Yeah, on the freeway.
The freeway's still closed.
Gray, why are you still a damn Democrat, man? You don't see this shit?
MAGA does some wild stuff too.
The Democrats are evil, man. They are demonic. And they try to, that's what the devil do. The devil comes in what you perceive as the purest form, but it's all evil. And that's what the left is. Evil. I'm sure it's on both sides, but you know what? At least Trump and MAGA, we up front with it. We ain't hiding shit.
Slim, do you want to say something?
Y'all need to change our logo to a chameleon.
Hold on, Voger. Slim, do you want to say something before I go?
Hey man, I love it. This is what I call all facts. And when the facts is being spit, I chill and be legit, listen to everything. You know what I mean? I'm good. Like I would say everything that the young lady in Vogue is saying right now is strictly my thoughts.
The first thing that I'm gonna say is that as soon as you start saying somebody's evil or demonic or something like that, you're now taking it from facts to spiritual. So it's now becoming more of like not an actual factual argument. So like that's what is happening with like some Republicans. Also, like the protest is like what America is. We were built on the Boston Tea Party, throwing the tea into the water. So you should have some type of protest in the country. So I wouldn't classify that as like evil, and I wouldn't classify, a lot of misinformation that's based on politics that's just not true, which is
So
like,
wait a minute. Let me ask you something, Greg.
yeah,
You don't believe. Yeah, you said something, boy. You don't believe that we're dealing with a spiritual battle currently.
No, I don't. When I look at the government, I'm not a person that's going to say, even with Trump, I would never say Trump is a demon or the Antichrist. I would never say something like that. I would just say, oh, this is like what the law says. Like that's my perspective on things with politics.
But
Trump said something.
your party leads with that though. And I was gonna say that your party leads with that. They lead with calling Trump Hitler, the devil, all these other things. And then when we say it, now you want to say it's not fact. When y'all lead with this.
But hold on, Trump said something, right? And it made the utmost sense maybe about 4 years ago. He said the reason this country is the way it is today is because we got away from God. And that statement to me was 100% factual. So it's not even about Trump. It's about that statement and where we are now. That's why I know it's a spiritual battle. And when you look at everything, and I'm not asking people to be all sentimental and spiritual and all that stuff, but when you look at everything that this man has been through, he's here for a reason. Like the only man that accumulated hate like this is Jesus, bro. That's the only man. You got to understand what this man has been through that he didn't have to go through. And that's where I stand with the brother, because at the end of the day, with all the money he had, he could have just said, you know what? I'm good. I don't need my great grandchildren to be hated. I don't need my grandsons to be getting punched in the face every time they go out to eat. And I think it's the total opposite. His great grandson will be looked at differently because of what his great granddad is doing today. Biblical times, bro.
I don't want to take over talking. Enzo and Alexis, I'll let y'all talk about it. I just want to respond to them real quick. If you look at the chat right now, everybody is saying like religious stuff. So like that's what separates, I feel like, the right's way of thinking and the left's way of thinking, where when you look at the right, they cater to like Christians. They cater to like what you feel, because even though you say, oh, it's what Democrats feel, but they're catering to like, oh, this is anti-Christian. Oh, look at these trends. Look, they're doing this to kids. They cater to that because they know this is what's going to affect the person because they're very religious. Whereas with Democrats, I do think Democrats are elitists. I do think Democrats are snobs to a certain degree because they want to be intellectual. They want to talk about evolution and science and all of that. So like that does miss with like the basic population where you can just do an emotional religious take. So it's just a different frame way of thinking. Like, so I'm a big history buff, so I'm really into like information. But I mean, I believe in God, but I'm not a person that's like gonna base my decisions based on religion.
Yeah. And before Enzo and Alexis go, gotta keep it a little bit Alexis or Alexis, which one?
Alexis, either way, it's fine.
All right. Since Gray wanna be logical, I'm gonna be logical to what Slim said. As far as Trump saying America has gotten away from God, you can translate that into normal everyday language. We've gotten away from family. A lot of the left goes off of feelings. We've gotten away from structure. basically what they campaign on is we should be able to do what we want. I keep saying that. You got people on the left who think babies should have consent. Things like that. Like it's like people who want to eat sugar all day instead of their fruits and vegetables. The left wants to eat sugar. The right is like, we need some collard greens, and we need some Brussels sprouts. We need something. We need our vegetables. That's what they mean by we've gotten away from God. So if you want to take it off a religious level, you have a lot of the right who wants to do things structured and responsibly. The left wants to do whatever they feel. That's what they call freedom. And you hear it a lot as far as men. They say men who are structured, who are strict, are oppressive. When a lot of times they just want to run a tight ship. They want their kids to do well. They don't want their wife to be embarrassing them. They the head of their house. Things like that. They might be budgeting strict. They might have a strict budget to try to build a nest egg, and the woman just wants. What's that? Serena Williams talking about financial abuse. She just wants to go buy a car, or buy nails, get her hair done instead of paying the car payment. Things like that. That's what you got a lot on the left. So that's what is being said when we talking about getting away from God. Go ahead, Alexis and Enzo.
Enzo, go for it.
You can go first, Alexis.
Nope, you go first.
All right. So, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but I don't put my religion into my politics. I say it explicitly all the time on my lives. Whenever I do debates and anything like that, I don't want to hear about politics. That's not how I voted. I didn't vote because of my religious views. I mean, but I can see where everyone's coming from. Like, what really did it for me was when Kamala Harris, somebody put it in the chat, the two people there got thrown out of it because they were talking about Christ is King or something like that. And she's like, "Oh, you're at the wrong rally for this." And then her saying, "How dare we say Merry Christmas?" I'm like, come on now. I look at it at that lens, and a quote that I've read from General Patton, and I'm not going to read the entire thing, but he was pretty much saying that the United States is going to fall into a land of lost morals and degeneracy within the next 50 years. And that was in 45 that he said that. I mean, I can see that nowadays, that it's fallen into a land of no morals and degeneracy. The biggest thing was that the people at the alphabet community, like, come on now, like having pride parades and having people like halfway naked parading through the streets in front of children and having drag queens reading books to children. Like, I'm sorry, like, I don't agree with any of that at all. It's disgusting to me. There should be some morals and class in this country, and not what the left is pushing. And that everybody breaks it down to religion and everything like that. It's not really just about religion when people are breaking it down to what's going on. It's what we prefer, what should really happen. Like, I'm sorry, you can't do half the shit that we do here that the left wants in any country around the world. Like, go try doing any of that in the fucking Middle East or even in some European countries. They will lock you up, or literally in the Middle East just behead you on the spot. Like, it's like, I'm not saying we should go that far, but that should be what you want to do in your home and what you want to teach your children. That's how it should stay. 100%. That's 100% what I agree with. I don't think we should be pushing our views onto everybody. Same way with the Republicans pushing views on everybody else too.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of that. The 10 Commandments in the classroom is not necessary. I know that there's I don't know if it passed already in Texas, but I think that that's absurd. We on the right so like adamantly pushed for the removal of any like LGBTQ flags, all this stuff, because to us it feels like indoctrination, right? Like, I mean, that's what it feels like to me personally. And then you want to go and pass a law or whatever it was stating that classrooms were mandated to have the 10 Commandments posted. That's ridiculous. Not the best thing about the United States is it's the melting pot of the world, right? There are people from all different religions, all different backgrounds. And the best thing about the United States is if you want to be a Satanist, you can be a Satanist. I'm not saying that it's right, and I'm not saying that I agree with it, but it's not. Although I don't think that it's right, it doesn't necessarily make it wrong here in the United States. That's the land of the free, right? However, I agree with Enzo, and I agree with you guys to an extent in the statements of like, I don't see any reason why we need to be pushing these adult perspectives, these adult complex situations down kids' throats to the point to where it's like we basically feed them false information, telling them that daddy can get pregnant is an insane take. Like you're just lying. You're lying to your kids. Like, and then you're further confusing them because then when they get older and they've been indoctrinated so much, they're like, well, but men can't. It's like, no, men cannot menstruate. Men cannot have children. Like, I'm very sorry, but they cannot. I know that that might be a shock to everyone, but they can't. And so, I
Nor
mean,
do we want to.
right. I mean, I hear it's pretty rough. I don't have them myself, not yet, but like I hear it's pretty tough and I'm not looking forward to it at all. But yeah, I mean, it's just, the morality aspect, morality is subjective. However, I think we can all agree on a baseline of morality, which is why we have laws. You don't hurt kids. You don't take away someone's bodily autonomy in the sense where like you don't invade their physical space. You don't, take something that doesn't belong to you. Like there's a baseline of morality that we should all objectively follow. And for some reason, the line keeps just like moving and it just keeps going back. It's like this wavy thing. I don't know what's going on, but it's gotten a bit out of control. And it almost seems like they just want to keep pushing it just to push it. Like, oh, why not? Let's see what we can get away with now.
Yep. But that's all nature. It's the men like myself. Well, I'm gonna say all of us on here. We supposed to hold the line. We supposed to set the standard. And you got media, which is like a new thing where the weaker people can talk and fight now. And
Because they're alive.
And what do they call the men who are trying to set these standards and run society and bring it back to what it's supposed to be?
Misogynists.
There you go.
Or toxic masculinity. Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be toxic masculinity, but that's the real masculinity. And that's why the country is crazy right now, because the people like me, they're teaching the younger generations that we are the oppressors when we're really the ones who are creating the structure. I will keep saying it. If you can't understand structure and why you need to have rules and regulations, look at your body. Your skin is an oppressor. Your skin holds you together. If your skin just went away tomorrow, like liberals and feminists want us to do, you would just be a full glob on the ground. You wouldn't be able to walk, talk, nothing. Your skin is the oppressor that holds you together so that you can function. Structure is real freedom, not the expression or the ability to do whatever you want when you want. That's what keeps you oppressed, is not having structure. I wish the left would learn this.
Slim, you over there quiet?
Nah, I'm taking it all in right now, man. I think I said all my takes that I needed to say. I'm good.
For sure. So let's do closing thoughts. Alexis, I know you came late, but what are you thinking of Man Cave? What's your final thoughts?
This was fun. I've watched you guys for a little while. Enzo actually introduced me to you guys. It's fun and great to be up here with you guys for the first time. I do apologize for my technical difficulties. But yeah, I've had a great time. I hope I can join again. And just thank you guys for having me.
For sure. And Enzo, thank you for bringing Alexis. What's your final thoughts?
So my final thoughts are, Alexis, thank you for coming. It was another great episode. Just get back to America and just get back to what America was founded on, and all these riots and everything like that. I'm disgusted by seeing it, to be honest with you, seeing in LA and then seeing a map from nokings.org and all these organized protests that are going on because of this. Like, all you're doing at the end of the day is, one, making a fool out of yourselves and showing what type of people we don't want in America at the end of the day. And that's exactly what I'm seeing. Saturday, I'm hoping for the best. I will be in New York City at Bryant Park to be at supposedly one of the biggest protests that are going on. And I've already seen footage over the last couple of days, and it's disgusting what I'm seeing going on already. But we can only hope for the best and hope that this ends quickly and they do everything the right way. I stand with Donald Trump on what they're doing and what this administration is doing. Yeah. Keep it classy, America. Enzo out.
Slim.
Yeah, man. Enzo, you be safe, especially in NY with all this nonsense going on. It's a real tough time. But I just say, man, another great show. Man Cave is how we do it. We speak our feelings, keep God first, and stay prayed up because we living at real crazy times. And if y'all into music, 85 Slim on all platforms. Man Cave Monday and Wednesday. Oh, I'm traveling to Africa tomorrow, so I won't be on next week, guys.
Have fun. Have a safe trip.
Absolutely. Thank you.
My final thoughts. You have the right to protest, but yeah, should it be violent? You should be following the law. It is getting crazy. I think it has to be like some type of better way. What I was saying was before is like I feel like they should use technology or something to arrest these people because this is just crazy. I hope that they can get it calmed down and that the damage can be stopped. Man Cave. Vulgar.
Oh yeah. So y'all remember in school when you went to gym class, you had a certain part of the gym that wanted to play parachute. You had the other half that wanted to play dodgeball. So what did you do? Y'all voted, right? Gym teacher said, hey, who want to play dodgeball? Everybody raise your hand. They raise their hand. All right, who want to play parachute? Raise their hand. All right, parachute won. So the people who wanted to play dodgeball, if they're good sports, they're going to get behind the people with parachute because that's what was agreed upon. A majority agreed upon parachute, so they play parachute. But you might have had that one little kid who started crying and threw a fit. That's all these protesters in the streets. That's the left. If y'all all get in line because most of America voted for Trump and get behind what he says, protest stop. But because y'all can't play fair and you got to whine about everything, that's what this is about. All right. I'm going to say, if y'all still in here, it's a bunch of y'all in here, subscribe to the new party. I don't think Gray did it. Subscribe to the new party, and then y'all subscribe to me at Locker Room Uncut. And Man Cave, we out.
Oh yeah, and thank you, Alexis, for coming. And Enzo, Alexis is Enzo's mod. They're on lives together on TikTok.
Same name, Little Bit Alexis, or I'm currently on Little Bit Suspended because your girl likes to get in trouble all the time. So TikTok don't like me very much.
They hate us.
Sure. But yeah, we definitely have to have Alexis come back on for sure. I'm gonna play the outro.